Dinah Matthew. This is Exploring the Harlem Renaissance through Langston Hughes, the unchallenged spokesman of the American Negro. In the 1920s, a rush of migration from the South brought an influx of black migrants to major American cities such as New York, Chicago, and Detroit. The building of black communities such as Harlem allowed for the exchange of a new breed of literature, arts, and music, one that came to be the culmination of the struggle to find the black aesthetic. Langston Hughes embodied the struggle.
Hughes constantly urged African Americans to explore their darker skin selves without having to concede aspects of their own culture into white society. He unapologetically wrote about the African American experience, which consists entirely of encountering but overcoming racism. I am fed up with this institution that claims to be the enlightenment of his fellow man. Fellow man. I am their fellow man, but all they could see of me is the color of my skin. This institution mirrors its nation, claiming to be the epitome of freedom and equality, but forgetting that goes beyond simple color. Well, I am done. I am leaving this school. Farewell, Columbia. My talents lay elsewhere, with a pen and a paper. And with my pen, I wish to reproduce the human soul.
Langston Hughes left Columbia in 1922 due to extreme racial discrimination. Although he hated Columbia, he loved the social scene of Harlem, where he was first introduced to the new Negro movement. It is here Langston said, Negro life is seizing its first chances for group expression and self-determination.
That's Vachel Lindsay. God, I've always wanted to meet him. He's a poet just like me, but far more successful. Yes, he is white, but his poems, what he writes about, he talks about the black abuse in our native Africa. In a different perspective, I assure you. He doesn't pretend to feel our pain. But I've been writing a couple of poems lately. Maybe I'll slip them. Hello, sir, can I take your plate?
Yes. What's this? People are always trying to slip me poems like these, but none are ever good. Never mind that, I guess I'll take a look. Well, would you look at that? Who wrote this? Who gave this to me?
I did, sir.
Well, it's ingenious. Some of the best poetry I've read in a while. What's your name, son?
Langston, sir, Langston Hughes.
Well, Langston, I'd like to show some of my publishers these. I'm sure it'll get your name into Literary Society.
Well, that would be fantastic, but would your audience appreciate my work?
Well, that's exactly why we must show them. They must encounter change before they themselves can change. Do you have more of your poems?
Yeah, I'll go get some.
Vachel Lindsay was a big influence in Langston's career. The day after their meeting, newspapers published headlines saying of Vachel's new discovery. The year after, Langston published his first poetry book named The Weary Blues, which was also one of the poems he gave Vachel that day. Hi, honey, how are you? What are you reading?
Oh, I'm good, sweetie. I'm just reading some poetry.
Anyone I would know?
I doubt it. He's a new poet, actually. His name is, Langston Hughes, I believe. He was actually discovered in this very hotel by Vachel Lindsay, no less. Yeah, but get this. He's a black man.
What? A black man? Well, he must be something if Vachel likes him.
Oh, he is amazing. I have his poem right here. Can I read it to you? Sure. I heard that Negro sing, that old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in all this world. Ain't got nobody but myself. I was gonna quit my frowning and put my troubles on the shelf. Thump, thump, thump when his foot on the floor. He played a few chords and he played some more. I got the weary blues and I cannot be satisfied.
Well, that's nice, but don't you think that's too, ethnic for us?
Well, I thought too at first, but then I realized I like the poem. It's a sort of rhythm and lingo that we usually don't get.
Oh, that's a valid statement. Well, I can't wait to see what Langston has in store for us next.
Langston's poems were widely received by both white and black audiences. His few works were continued to be praised, and he continued to write poetry that reflected his roots.
One of Hughes' finest essays appeared in The Nation in 1926, entitled The Negro Artist and the Racial Mountain. It spoke of black writers and poets
who would surrender racial pride in the name of false integration.
A talented poet told Langston that he wanted to be a poet, but not a Negro poet, meaning,
I would like to write like a white poet.
Meaning behind that?
I would like to be a white poet.
Meaning subconsciously.
I would like to be white.
Hughes argued that no great poet has ever been afraid of expressing himself. He wrote in his essay,
we younger Negroes now intend to express our darker skinned selves without fear and shame.
Unlike others, Hughes did not care for the approval of black and white audiences.
We build our temples for tomorrow, and we build them as strong as we know how, and we stand on top of that mountain, free within ourselves. My book, Flying Close to a Jew, was well received by literary circles and white press. But Negro critics like Eustace Gray didn't like it at all. They called me a disgrace to the race, a de-evolution to a dialect tradition of sorts, that I was parading around our racial defects to the public. Many of these intellectuals and critics are very sensitive about our race. Anything that a white person would possibly read, they demand that we put our best foot forward, our polished and culturally appropriate foot forward, but only that foot.
It does not matter to me whether every poem in the book is true to life. Why should it be paraded before the American public of being typical or representative of the Negro? Bad enough to have white audiences holding up our imperfections to the public gaze. Our aim ought to be to present to the public, already misinformed by both well-meaning and malicious writers, our higher aims and aspirations and our better selves.
I see some type of meaning for some of the books this critic speaks of, but I don't see how they can expect every Negro author to write such books. I believe that the masses of our people have just as much in their lives put into books as do ones that were born with some type of means to work themselves up to Northern college. Well, I didn't know many upper-class Negroes growing up. I only knew the people I'd grown up with, and they weren't people whose shoes had always shined, but they seemed like good people to me too.
America has always functioned under the facade that it has been a nation of fresh and equal chances of success, but this has been an illusion for anyone of color.
The Harlem Renaissance created a new perspective for African Americans and brought forth intellectuals like Langston Hughes.
W.E.B. Du Bois challenged the notion of white supremacy.
Zora Neale Hurston, through her books, challenged the American people to strip away the stereotypes that were on African American women.
Billie Holiday, one of the first influential singers of her time, used her songs as human rights ballads.
Aaron Douglas, whose artwork depicted the black man's plight in the Americas and never forgot to link back to his roots.
The influence of the Harlem Renaissance stretches to even today. Artists such as Kendrick Lamar,
Queen Latifah,
Beyonce,
and so many more
share the black experience with issues such as racism,
police brutality,
and share deep jazz roots to the Harlem Renaissance. One of Hughes' most significant and important works was Let America Be America Again. It spoke of the struggles that black Americans had in the 1920s. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty
bears no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe.
There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro, bearing slavery's scar. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant, clutching the hope I seek and finding the same old stupid plan of dog-eat-dog or mighty crush the weak. The free?
Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has yet been, but yet must be. The land where every man is free. The land that's my land, the poor man's, the Negroes, the Indians, me. Who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand in the foundry, whose plow in the rain, and make our great dream great again. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death,
the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem.
The land, the mines, the plants, the rivers,
the mountains and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again. Thank you.